Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing a stock analysis on Microalgo. Now, if you don't know what they make, they are technically a Chinese company that make processing algorithms for internet advertising, gaming, and other niches. Now, the reason I'm highlighting the stock today is because it has exploded recently. Just look at this graph. As you can see here, it was all the way up back, was this 24? Mid 24, it was up in 500. And then it fell down and did a reverse stock split where you got one stock for each 20 stocks you had. And because it was simply worth too little, so they had to make a reverse stock split. Otherwise, it would be taken off the Nasdaq. Now, and then recently, as you can see here, we were all the way down in what is this, about $1, and then it increased all the way up to 11. Then it fell back down a bit. It calmed down back to 2, and then as you can see, currently we are trading at $24.25. Now you might be thinking, why on earth is this stock exploding this much? And I have one simple answer to that. That is Me Holdings. That is a Chinese company which has just bought up 67.6%. So they own 2/3 of this entire company. So it is inflating quite a lot, which also means that now there is only 30% roughly stocks in the free flow, which means that every single stock bought now has twice as much volume and value because Me Holdings cannot sell or buy any more stocks within the next 10 years. It's in a 10-year lockup period, so they can't do anything with those shares. That now means that if there were 1 million before, there is only now 335 shares out, which means that if you buy one share, the impact on the graph itself is a lot bigger because the movement of the other ones is now zero. So each movement has a lot more to do with it. Now the company is quite small. As you can see, its market cap is $241 million, which means that a lot of companies like hedge funds and pension funds and other funds can't trade this stock at all because it is simply not worth enough and it is therefore too speculative. And meanwhile, I've been talking, just look at all this fluctuation over here in the pre-market. It is insane how much the pre-market valuation is going up and down. Very, very volatile stock itself. Now, something you have to be worried about is, as you can see here, if you look at the stock, it was publicly traded, as you can see, $2,000, and then it spiked all the way up to 10,000. Well, that is not true. That would be 500 because we did, of course, have the reverse split on 20 stocks. But as you can see, it has historically been trading a lot more expensive than it is now. This means that basically everyone has a loss in this stock, besides, of course, those that managed to buy between these two peaks. So buying down here and then buying up here. Basically, everyone else has lost money, but we don't have a lot of people who bought down here because otherwise we would see much higher fluctuations. And you can see these small dots here in the bottom. They're not that great compared to over here. This means the volume of stocks traded is much lower compared to back here, or you can see these huge spikes. This means that a lot more people bought stocks here compared to here, which means that a lot of people are sitting with a loss in this stock, so it is highly speculative. Chances are people who bought at, let's say, $30 or $40 is now trading so that it increases, so that they can get their own loss either smaller or just get positive. So there is a reason that it's trading so highly, even though a company just bought all the stocks. Basically, I would be very wary. As also you can see in this stock, the RSI barely reacts. It barely reacts at all. As you can see, it is not that volatile, which is quite unusual, unless of course it's low volume. And this means that hardly any is trading this company at all. So the chance of this being I'm not going to say manipulate because that would be illegal, but people are trying to manipulate the stock, and that is quite clear. As you can see, we see spikes, falls, spikes, falls. So this is purely speculative. And you can also see just the last minute I've been talking, this has gone up and down by 3% in pre-market, and then you need to be a lot more worried about trading in the pre-market, but the fact that people doing this is quite unnerving. I think it's probably gonna spike this 15, maybe 20%, 30% in the market today, but then I'm gonna give it 2 days. It's gonna be trading at around $11 again. Very, very speculative. So I would be quite worried about trading this. But of course, also remember, I cannot give you any financial advice. This is purely entertainment and education. As you can see, dividends, they don't have any. Then we see their income statements. Look at this. They don't make any money at all. As you can see here, of course they made some in 21, but chances are they were just raising capital, and now they are just losing money. their net income fell and their operating losses increased. So it is crazy. Just look at the stock over the past 4 years. We see 3 years here with insane losses: 97%, 87%, 29%, then 21, where it increased 3%, and now we have this year where we're up by 500%. Even look at 2023, lost by 30%, but it was up by 600%. As you can probably figure out, it is very, very speculative, so be quite wary if you're trading this stock. Now, technicals on this is probably no surprise. It's a buy for the day, and for the month it is a sell. And you might be wondering, well, why is it a sell? And that is simply because we have these huge red candles also, and we don't have any proper technicals on this, because even though that it is trading upwards, the technicals also look at it compared to the previous. Just look at how low it is, and that is because technically this is overvalued at this point, as you can also see in the RSI where it is all this way up, and it's simply because compared to its history, this is a false breakout. So really, really, really worrying to see. And let's see how it again. It has moved at percents in the last stock than pre-market, and pre-markets rarely move that much. You can also see it's 86 employees and it's a company worth 241 million. That doesn't really make any sense. So yeah, I would not buy this. I would not recommend my worst enemies buy this. So I would not get into this stock at all. And as you can see, we don't even have any analyst rating on it either. Now, if you did like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.